Hello, I'm Grace Campbell, comedian, writer, podcaster, and now homemaker extraordinaire. Today, I'm letting you into my humble abode. That's house in French, and the set of my world-famous podcast, Late to the Party. I say world-famous because we have 12 followers in the Philippines, so I think we're pretty worldwide. We've been blessed by the interior goodness of Next and Rocket St. George, who have decked out my house for the festive period. So come on in, here's Eddie. First, let's begin in the boudoir, a place of sanctuary, supplements, panic attacks, and recovery from Christmas party season. This is my bed. I love this leopard print throw and these sheets. It's very ab fab, which if you know me in my comedy, you'll know is a huge influence on my work. I even named Eddie after Adina Monsoon. Rocket St. George have changed my life with this stylish leopard print unit. I'm famously a messy and this has helped me declutter my room so that now when people come in here, they think I'm a calm. I love this apothecary bottle. It's for all of my secret potions that I'm going to use to manifest. And now into the heart of the home, the set of Late to the Party. Hi. Oh, yes, I love you. Before I show you around, let's have a drink. Six hours sober, cheers. Also, Rocket St. George was founded by two best friends, Jane and Lucy. I love that because my business partner and podcast producer, Tyler, is my best childhood friend. Tyler's been cleaning up the chaos of my life since we were 6 years old, so I love hearing about success stories of best friends working with each other. If you're a regular Late to the Party watcher, you will recognise these shelves and you'll see we've got lots of new additions. Stay hydrated. Also, I love this disco mushroom. My two worlds collide. This is a Christmas decoration, but I think it's gonna stay here forever. I love mushrooms. I am famously a terrible gift giver, but this year I've made a bit more of an effort, and with the help of Rocket St. George and Next, I've got some people in my life some presents. I got my dad this cushion, which I think is perfect for him because he is a melt. I got my mum this incredible Highland cow because me and my mum love Highland cows because, well, my mum says I remind her of a Highland cow and that's why she loves them. So I think she'll love that because she loves me. I got Tyler some matching pajamas to go with me so we can camouflage in together. And I love this tree because it came in a box and it's not shedding on the floor, which is perfect for me, and then I can keep it for next year. So on to our penultimate stop of the tour. I'm really into hosting at the moment. I love hosting, I love having people in my house. In the winter, I don't really like leaving my house, so I want people to come to me. I love this new setup I have with these gorgeous bowls that say Bon Appetit, and these cute little napkins that say love at first bite, kiss kiss. Today, we are having pain au chocolat. I made it myself. That's the kind of thing you get when you come into my house. Fresh pain au chocolat. I love this little chopping board, serving board for cheese, and it also serves as a weapon if someone's irritating me. And now, the pièce de résistance. This sofa is called The Grace. Astrid loves it. This is gonna be perfect when I've got guests on the podcast. I'm doing my best impression of Drew Barrymore and I'm getting really close to them on my leopard print sofa. I can't believe I was living a life in this room without this sofa. And then when I have multiple guests, I will also be able to put them on this gorgeous Kisses pink chair. Genuinely can't believe I lived a life without all this furniture already in my home. Thank you so much, Rocket St. George and Next. I love it. It's perfect. And speaking of perfect, let me introduce my guest this week. My guest this week is a returning fave of Late to the Party. She's my idol, she's my new best friend. She is the one and only Joanne McNally. Okay, wow. Oh, I already finished my glass. I just have to say for context, we've already been sat
sipping away.
Just sipping away. Joanne lost her sunglasses, found her sunglasses.
We've had a couple of costume changes.
I've changed my outfit about 7 times.
Yeah, reworked the mic. Now we're here.
Do you want to start do your bit and then I'll talk about what I want to talk about?
You want to talk about my show?
Yeah. She's like, no, we can start with that.
We can start with that. Honestly, earlier with Tony, I quoted a review for my show during the episode.
It's a 5-star show.
Oh.
So I went to see the show in the Apollo, Hammersmith, on Sunday night. And I was, like, obviously I'm a Grace Campbell fan anyway, but I was blown away. Grace. I really was. I was like, this woman is happy. It felt like a moment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It was amazing. It was so well structured. The flow was so good. It had that gorgeous kind of emotional pull in the middle, but not too heavy. It was so well balanced. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
brilliant.
really. Do you know what? And then we will not talk about me and my show because it's over now.
I'm so glad I liked it.
I'm so glad you liked it. I know, but to be honest, like the way it was really interesting on Sunday. I've never felt, and Jack can attest.
Yeah, attest
this. I'm usually fucking nightmarish before a show, especially a big show. I'm usually like screaming at everyone, like freaking out, crying. I was so calm all day because I just knew the show was good.
Yeah, there's great peace in that.
It was good.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever happens, this show is good.
Yeah,
I like doing it.
You're like, I can rely on this show.
So it will be fine. And I've never felt so secure in something before.
But see, I joke. I knew it was going to be good because I've watched the tour up to this point and I knew that the show was a solid show. But it was more than that. It was just, it honestly was like, it was special. There's something special about that show.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think I probably should carry it on.
100%.
Do you think?
I did Prosecco for 19 years.
I know. How long did you do it
if
Prosecco
you can sell
for?
it.
I know. And also more people need to see it. It's like what you had. Because you did Vicar Street for how long in Dublin?
Prosecco was 2 years long. 2 years
Wow.
long. But like my thing is, and people are funny about this. Some people are saying like, oh, a year and like throw it away. Why would you throw it away?
Yeah.
Like if people are willing, like if people are still wanting to come to the show and they were like, oh, can we put on more nights? Fucking why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because then it's gone and you're back to square one.
And you have
Blank
to write a new
page.
fucking show, which I so can't be bothered to do. I have nothing to say. Nothing has happened in my life.
You should see what I'm in the middle of trying. I'm literally trying to get fucked over by lads so I have something to talk about. I'm like throwing myself in front of cars.
I know, because I remember when I
like
first met you, that's what you were saying. You were like, I need something in my life to happen because that show, Prosecco Express, was like, you put everything into that and then you need more. And that's how I feel about this show. I've put my whole life is in that show. Yeah. Like all of my best stories are in that show.
Yeah. I know. Get back on Hinge, baby. See you there.
How is Hinge going? Because I downloaded it for like an hour a few weeks ago and then I was like, I'm going to kill myself.
So you need to... I forgot how much you talk about killing yourself. Such a joy. What do you call it?
KMS.
Yeah, killing my KMS, yeah.
I remember when I first said that to her and you were like, I'm just going to go kill myself thing.
You can get away with it. I can't get away with that.
Yes,
Your generation can. I can't. Because they're like, oh, Joanne, the Samaritan. You know, they're like, they'd be sending in like...
You need to call the outline.
Self-help numbers. Hinge. So basically, this is my take on it, right? You have to really... I shouldn't really be on the apps because I don't really care that much. I was actually reading an interview with Maya Jama recently and I was like, we have so much in common. Basically, she was saying you have to be really in the mood. Otherwise, I think it's a bit unfair. But like I've had it. That's why the gorgeous thing about Hinge is you can't take anything personally on these dating apps. Someone could match, unmatch, ignore, never write back. And you're like, it doesn't matter. It's not personal.
You don't know them.
You don't know them. He doesn't know you. He's probably going out with someone else, probably got back with this girl, whatever. It doesn't matter. But
also, until you've met someone, and I actually think until you've met someone a few times, they don't really owe you anything.
No, they don't know you met them.
Because you don't know them, basically.
This is what I was saying. Maya Jama.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Maya Jama. You were reading an article about Maya Jama.
Yeah, she did an interview where she was saying that when you are, as you get a little bit older and you have a job and you have your income coming in, that you don't like... It's hard to fit lads in, really. But basically, you're like, you have to add something. I'm not...
It's exactly that.
You have to add something. Like, I'm 41. You have to add something now.
You can't just bring nothing. Because the thing is, often boyfriends take away. That's what we were talking about this yesterday. But like, boyfriends often subtract from people's lives.
Yeah.
But it's not even about subtracting. If you don't add like a massive benefit, if you're not bringing something great, what's the point when you're so busy?
That's it.
And doing really great things. You don't need it.
But then you have to kind of check yourself and be like, I would like to meet someone. So it's not, I don't want to become this like staunchly independent person who's like, fuck you all. I don't want that. But like, also I'm not here to fuck around. So like, I was seeing this guy recently and he was an Insta guy. He was an Insta guy.
As in like following and liking other
and I was
shit.
like, nah.
No.
The 29-year-old me would try and win your attention back on the daily and would be going in, looking at these women and trying to find something degrading about them to come back to you and say...
Yeah, and go and bitch to your friends about... Yeah.
But not now. I'm like, do it. Do your thing.
It's
do your
so
thing.
interesting because I remember the first time we met, we spoke about this of like when someone brings that out of you, like, because I'm the same, I would be the same. And actually, like, I remember I used to date this guy like a few years ago who every time we would see each other, and it was like good, like it was good for a minute, for like 5 minutes, it was good. Every time we'd see each other, he would leave my house, I would go on his Instagram and he would follow like 10 girls. Like clockwork, and then he wouldn't do it. Then he would see me again. Then he would leave.
About?
It must have been the fact that I wasn't making him. I was making him feel something.
Yeah.
That was then inducing him into being like, I need to go and get validation from someone else. So I think probably I made him quite insecure. Like I was doing much better in my career than he was, and like that's the only way. But the way it made me feel at the time was I was like, I need to make him so obsessed with me that he will stop doing that, rather than like that's so rude.
I know. I was the like I went out with a guy for a couple of years who was an Insta guy as well. I mean, Instagram, it's so fucking fucked. Do you know
we have to define, like, when we say Insta guys, it's like there's a type of man who, when you go on who they follow, it's like 90% like just women, just random women that haven't probably even followed them back. That's the most tragic thing. It's like, well, I remember looking at the girls that this guy would follow, and I'd be like, they haven't even followed you back. Like, we're about to have an argument with someone that hasn't even followed you back.
I know, but when they do follow them back, you're like, well, what's going on in the DMs?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And you spiral off, and it's horrible. And I went out with a guy like that for years, and I honestly nearly lost my mind over it because I didn't have the experience and the maturity to just go, this isn't for me. Do what you want to do, like do your thing, but it's just not for me. I want to be in a relationship that doesn't trigger my entire fucking nervous system on the daily to see who you're trying to chat up online now. Now I know, I'm like,
But would it make you want him more?
No, not now.
No, but as in then. Because that's what it used to do to me.
100%.
It made me more obsessed with someone.
Because I'm like, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. You're comparing yourself to every single person that's now involved in this relationship they don't even know they're involved in.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's also so humiliating. You're like, this is so immature. I'm like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, no, I know.
It was horrible. And I don't know what the solution is. I would love to meet someone with absolutely no social media, but I can obviously keep all of mine.
I don't think men should be on Instagram.
I don't either. There should be a social media platform that men can look at, but they can't engage in.
Completely.
They can look as a spectator, but they can't post, comment,
If they add a girl who's like over a 5 out of 10 on the hotness scale, we should get an alarm to our phone, like an alert. Be like, he's on the move.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get 3 fire emojis a day, you prick.
Yeah, but I will say I had a boyfriend who had no social media and he had an affair. So he had a 3 months long affair.
Someone will eventually invent some sort of human Shazam where you can Shazam somebody.
I think that would be amazing. However, the only thing I'll say about that is if there was a human Shazam on me based on my ex-boyfriend's reviews of me, I would be fucked.
Oh, sorry.
They'd be like, she is the craziest fucking bitch you're ever going to come into contact with.
Do you know what I found on my phone? I was going through my phone, as you do, scanning through photos, and there was a photo of a huge spot on the back of...
On your neck that I took.
Yeah! Oh my God.
Can I just tell you this story, right? Because honestly, at that point, I had fucking 150 spots on my face. Like, I was having the worst acne of my life, right? Joanne had 1 spot on the back of her neck and she was like, oh my God, I have to go home. I have a spot on the back of my neck. I was like, Joanne, have you seen my face? Like, my face is fucked right now. You were like, you're young. I cannot have a spot.
Yeah, it was like, your spot shows fertility, menstruation. What does mine show? It was like a hook on my neck.
One tiny little spot on the back of your neck, and she made me take a picture of it. And then she was like texting like dermatologist. He's like, I've got a spot on the back of my
on
neck.
To the team.
Yeah,
I
the
was like
team.
sending the photo.
The WhatsApp group, Joanne's skin.
It was huge though.
It was like a fucking pus. It was like a pussy spot. It's
Did
not
we
that
pick
deep.
it or no? Did we leave it?
I asked to pop it. We were in a pub in Edinburgh. We have to talk about that day. It was the best day ever. But we were in Edinburgh, and I was like, I'll just pop it, and you didn't let me.
I'm laughing because I was seeing this guy, and we were riding with no condoms because, like, you know, whatevs. It's just a terrible message to send.
Literally.
I just don't
Not
believe
me,
in them.
the face of, you know, condoms.
I just don't believe them. And we were out one night drinking. I was like, I'd love to have a baby. Well, the next time I was down, well, I'll tell you, there was condoms everywhere. He's like, it's company policy now, Joanne. I was like, what are those silly little things? You don't need to wear that. Are you not very uncomfortable? Give me your fucking seed. No, he was condomed up out of it. So that's a good way.
That's a good way to do it. If a man's insisting on not wearing a condom, say, oh, actually, do you know what? I've been thinking about
having a baby. Yeah. And well.
Ding dong. Yeah. Ding dong, the Durex comes out.
So many condoms I couldn't get them in.
They had one in their back pocket.
It's like wearing a puffer jacket full of condoms.
That is so fucking funny.
Yeah, I was raging.
That's so funny.
Where were we?
Well, we were talking about...
Oh.
What?
I have a story for you that did I tell this on the podcast? This is like my party trick story. I tell it loud, so I don't know if I told it on the last podcast.
No, I don't think.
About
what is
my
it?
friend who works in sexual health. She's a psychologist. My friend is a sexual health psychologist. I used to live with her, so I used to every evening I'd be in like straight in, being like, "Tell me everything. Tell me about your day. Start from the morning. Start from getting on the tube. I want every detail of your day." And the stories she told me were fascinating, right? So one of my favorite stories, and I say favorite, like it's a weird term to use, but basically, guy came in, he had gonorrhea of the throat. And apparently you can get it in the throat.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that 'cause I'll tell you the story afterwards.
Why?
Well, I once got told I had gonorrhea in my knee. But it turned out that I didn't. But like,
You can't what?
Yeah, because if you have gonorrhea and it's left untreated, it spreads to your joints and it's a form of arthritis caused by gonorrhea. I didn't have it for the podcast record, but I got told in the hospital in LA by this doctor who was like, I think you have gonorrhea in your knee. But it's because he asked me how many people have I had sex with, and I told him, and then he was like, oh, it's gonorrhea. It actually had just torn my ACL.
I actually just can't believe that. I can't believe they said that to you.
Yeah. But also what was crazy was that basically the doctor, because I was in America, #capitalism, the first doctor got a cut of how much I ended up spending at the hospital that day. So he just scared me. If I'd have just torn my ACL, I wouldn't have gone and done like MRIs, X-rays. I would have flown back to London and just sorted it out in London. But because I was so scared that I had gonorrhea or gout, he told me I had gonorrhea or gout, that I went and paid like $12,000, Joanne, to do like all of these tests and see the cyanide, because I was like, oh my God, I need to find out if I've got gonorrhea in my knee. Like, obviously, it's like social suicide to have gonorrhea in your knee. But I had just torn my meniscus in my knee.
Imagine praying that you have gout. Imagine that being your better
No, I
option.
know. I
You're
was like, I
fucking
would
hope
rather
it's
have gout.
Yeah, of
I would rather have
course.
gout, yeah. Okay, so finish the story.
Sorry. So your man comes in, he's got gonorrhea of the throat. Goes to the doctor gives him a load of antibiotics. They're like, take all the antibiotics, refrain from any sort of sexual activity, blah, blah, blah. Your man goes off. He's like, yeah, no worries. I'm single anyway. It's grand. Comes back, takes all the tablets, comes back for his checkup. He's still got gonorrhea of the throat. So the doctor's like, well, that's highly irregular. That's never happened.
Oh my God, I know what you're going to say. He was giving himself head.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry. I interrupted you.
So
Sorry.
much worse. So he goes off, comes back again, still has gonorrhea of the throat. They're like, are you abstaining? Like, promise us, like, promise us. You're not lying. Because I'm not lying, like, blah, blah. So anyway, this went on for weeks and weeks. So the doctor was like, well, obviously there's a new strain of gonorrhea. So it's now not being treated. It's not responding to these antibiotics. So this needs to be written up. You're going to be written up in a science journal. And someone threw around in his vicinity the term medical marvel, which he really latched onto. So he was like, I'm a fucking medical marvel. So they couldn't figure out what was going on. So they were like, okay, look, before we write you up with a new strain of gonorrhea
that you've invented.
that you have brought to London.
Yeah, you're patient zero.
Yeah, you're patient zero. Go and see the psychologist. So he ended up going to my friend. And she was like, okay. So they did some work and tried to get him to talk through what he'd done. He's like, I haven't touched anyone. He was like some rant, like he was just a normal guy, like Brian working in a bank kind of thing. And she said, talk me through your day. So he was going through his day and he's like, and then I might go for a pint with the lads and I go kind of running. And then he was like, oh, hold on. And like this had just occurred to him. And he said, could it be what I do with the condoms up in Hampstead Heath?
Sorry, what?
And she said, what do you do with them? And he said, I eat them.
You're joking. No. You're joking.
No. Nice.
Eats the condom or eats the content?
He sucks the content.
It's called fruiting.
It's called fruiting.
Yeah.
Urban.
Urban fruiting, that's what it's called. Oh my God.
So my friend was like, yeah, I'd say that's...
First of all, he's a fucking idiot. So he's there like, oh my God, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm such an innocent little man. Bruv, you're going to Hampstead Heath and you're sucking condoms.
Yeah.
I wonder why specifically Hampstead Heath. Like, what's
because he lives around here.
But also that's the dogging area. Do you know about Hampstead Heath, Anoni? No, Hampstead Heath is like really famous for dogging.
I think this guy got swept up and being called a medical marvel. And that, like, no more than the rest of us, it was enjoying the attention of it. So maybe held back on some facts, but wasn't lying. Like, he wasn't riding anyone. He wasn't, like, he wasn't sexually active as such. Yeah, he was sucking he was eating a couple of condoms up. He was chewing a couple of condoms up in Hampstead Heath, as is his right.
He was bulking at the time. He was bulking. He read that cum is high protein. He's bulking. He's like, do you know what? Post gym, I'm just going to go up to the Hampstead Heath extension.
Taking my way.
Yeah. That is fucking nuts.
Yeah, I love that story.
The thing I love about that story is that he just wouldn't have put two and two together. That's the thing that I can't actually understand.
I think he did, but
he loved it.
I think because he wasn't lying, and I think he was maybe, because me and my friend have spoken about this in depth. We're always at parties going, and what do you think was going through his head?
Yeah, no, this is the kind of story that we always come back to. We'll always come back to this story.
So we decided, we were like, we think maybe he was, like, obviously maybe a bit lonely and like all this attention from this clinic, and that that it was something he felt a bit, I don't know, important in that moment, because they were like, new strain of gonorrhea, who's not going to feel great about that? You're like, I'm bringing something new to the table. Like you say, I'm patient zero. That's exciting. Whatever you're bringing, whether it be penicillin or gonorrhea.
You're original. Yeah. You're an innovator.
You've got a US... You're a trailblazer.
You're the first.
You're a trailblazer.
Yeah, you're the first. Like, you'll be on the Wikipedia of that gonorrhea page. Yeah. Do you know who once tried to eat a condom?
Eddie.
Yeah. She tried to go and get the condom. But it's fine, she didn't. But she did try and eat it.
Yeah, but like, I can understand that. My mum's dog ate her hearing aids. The two of them. And they cost a fortune. So
the whole thing.
Following the dog around the garden, ready to collect those hearing aids and wash them off.
Did you get them out?
I don't know. She never passed them in the end. I think my mum, I can't remember the end of the story. She might have brought it to the vet. I don't know. But anyway, the hearing aids went missing and mum was like, they're obviously in the dog.
Oh,
but they will. They'll eat anything.
Oh, yeah. I once swallowed my tongue piercing overnight.
Yeah.
In the night. And then I never found it.
Never found it. No. You didn't pass it, as they say.
I would look and I didn't find it.
Yeah, it's not.
What I wanted to talk about was like because... Okay, so for example, like I always fuck up on Christmas Eve, where like I get really fucked on Christmas Eve and I end up like shagging someone that I shouldn't, and then I wake up with like a random guy in my bed, and then I ruin Christmas Day. Yeah. What is Christmas like for you? Do you like?
Well, it's very tame compared to that. So
Really?
Yeah. So I'd usually be back in Dublin for Christmas.
Do you ever get really drunk on Christmas Eve?
So back in when I was younger, Christmas Eve was like the biggest night of the year because it was like when everyone would come home, like because a lot of people obviously move away and they go wherever and they'd all come home and it'd be a massive piss up. And then more than yourself, I'd be hungover, and Christmas Day was just being hungover.
And like being
difficult,
yeah,
eating loads of sandwiches, blah blah.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's a different buzz, and actually this time, for the first time ever, I'm hosting Christmas. So I've always been in my mum's, yeah.
In London?
In London.
Wow, with your mum?
With just my mum. So my brother's
really
going away for
nice.
Christmas with his wife and their kids. That's never happened before. So mum's like, we can do anything we want, really. We're not tied to Dublin, because usually, obviously, if there's family, you're tied to the city, and enjoing that.
The good-looking people in it.
Sorry, I have to say that again. My brother's so sensitive. So my brother and his wife are going away with their kids for Christmas. So it means that my mum and me are like, okay, well, let's use this opportunity to do something different.
So what are you going to do?
We looked at everything. I was like, do you want to go to the Canaries or something?
Aww.
I know. And I was like, do you want to go to Bali? Do you know when you're like just going mad on the Sky Scanner? And she's like, I'm not going to Bali. I'm in my 70s. It's a 16-hour flight. I'm not going to Bali for 2 days. You know what I mean? Getting a stair lift down the plane.
Like, should we go to the full moon party?
Do you want to do ayahuasca on Christmas Eve, Mum? Do you want to meet Mother Moon?
Yeah.
So anyway, she was like, I'm not going to Bali. Do that on your own.
So you're going to stay in London?
So she's coming over to the flat in London.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to Dublin for a couple of days, see my friends, have a couple of dinners, couple of parties, and then fly back with her on the day before Christmas Eve. I'm getting a tree. I've never had a tree before because my mum kind of gave up. She was like, I'm not arse getting the tree out of the attic. You're never here. There's a pot plant in the hallway. I'm putting some fairy lights on it.
That's what my mum does.
Wow. Scrooge. We've really dropped our standards.
That's what my mum does. That's literally my mum.
I was like,
she
where's
gets
my
do
stocking?
you remember that twig? My mum got one. She gets this
That's a
twig.
cat. Yeah.
She gets this twig out of the cellar and puts like 4 baubles on the twig. And I'm like, oh, Merry Christmas. We're putting the presents under a twig.
Mine was the exact same. You're just sitting under an umbrella for the day. She's like, it's the same thing. Stop complaining. My mum's attitude, she's like, I've worked my arse off so many Christmases. Like,
yeah.
My brother's 5 years older than me. So he's like 46. I'm 41. Like, my mum was still doing stockings when me and my brother were like, I think my brother was married. And like,
oh, that's
we were like,
really cute.
Where's the stocking? And my mum was like, they're gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are fucking in your 30s. Grow up.
If you want to get a Terry's chocolate orange, get it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I've got shit to do. Do you know what I mean? I don't have time to be packing your dad's old mountain socks and like trying to drop it into your room while you're asleep. You're 38. Like, grow up. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is a bit of a change of pace this Christmas. So
that's nice though.
Also London's wide open on Christmas Day. Not wide, but like
no, it
there's
is.
loads of places to go. Yeah.
Are you a good present buyer?
No. This is my stance on it, and I'm trying to change this as I get older, because as I get older I realize like your friendships are like the most important part, really. I don't ask anyone to anything, and then so I'm not expected to go to anything. Do you get me? I don't have parties. I've never had a birthday party. I don't do anything. I've never had a dinner party. I don't do anything. So then I'm like, but I'm not under pressure to return the favor. Like, I'm a very casual person.
So that's how you feel about presents. You're like, if I buy you a present,
I'm not gonna. You don't get me anything.
Don't get me anything.
Don't get me anything, and I'm not gonna get you anything. And that me and Vogue agreed to. I was like, I'll transfer you £200. You transfer it back. And I was like, and I'll check. If you transfer back 150, I'll know. I said, I'll know.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
We just transfer vouchers and cash now. Like, my mum, I'd obviously, go to town on, but that's it really. We don't do, like sometimes sometimes you need to be in a system, because someone will get you something one year and the next year you'll be like, fuck, Sinead got me something, I'll get something for Sinead, and then Sinead has nothing for you, and so it's really awkward.
Yeah.
I'd much rather hang out. I'd much rather go for dinners and hang out with people.
Do you think it's like a fundamental lack of like, because sometimes I think, am I a really selfish person that like, if I'm in a shop, I would never think, oh, I should buy that for someone. I always think, oh, I should buy that for myself.
I know, I don't
like
know
fundamentally, it's very rare that I think I'm going to buy that for someone.
I know. I think there is a certain way of thinking that it's like thinking outside of yourself more so. Like some people are just outside thinkers. I think mothers are, I think something, I don't know, I don't have kids, but
something changes maybe.
I think
yeah.
so. And like, that's probably...
Yeah, because actually the only thing I buy presents for is Eddie. Whenever I go anywhere, I buy a present for Eddie.
There you go. There it is. But like one of my very good friends, we were talking about, we were having like chats as we always do. She was up in mine, we were drinking wine till whatever time. And we were kind of talking about stuff like that. And I was like, how's someone in her family isn't that well? And I was like, how are they? And she's like, grand. And I text her saying, how are they? And she's like, grand. She's like, I know what you're doing. You know that you're not naturally like that. I don't naturally do stuff like that. So she's like, so you've kind of latched onto this now, and you just keep asking me like frantically how my relative is, because she's like, and I get it. And
it's a learned behavior.
It's more learned than instinctive. And I don't know what that says. I don't know.
But I will say, I don't know.
I wouldn't even ask myself how I am though. I'm not even, it's not like I'm checking in with myself.
This is what I was going to say about you. I don't know you incredibly well, but I do know you like a bit. And we had like a really unbelievable night in Edinburgh that was just transformative. And we'll have to talk about that during the podcast. Not all of it, but some of it. But I think you, and I think I am similar to this, where you're not a selfish person, but you maybe not like constantly thinking about other people.
No.
It's all about balance, you know? Like, you can be...
There's definitely that, whatever that is, I don't, it's like this hyper focus on... And it's not on me. That's the other thing. It's not on me. I don't know what it's on. Like, I could literally stop taking any meds I'm supposed to and let my mental health be in a fucking bin bag. It's not even me. I don't know what I think about. It's like, I stress easily. I get overwhelmed easily.
Well, I think because you are really like in the moment is what I know of you. You are so in the moment. So it's like when you were in New York, I would constantly be like, hello, how's it going? And you'd like reply and we would talk, but you wouldn't ever give me like massive presents because you were like, I'm really far away and on different time zones to you, so I'm not going to probably talk to you. Whereas when you're in London, we speak like much more like you're here.
Like you're near me now.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're quite like where I am is where I am.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I can't move away.
Yeah.
It's love languages. Both of your love languages is like quality time rather than gifts.
Yeah. No, but see,
that's what it is.
But interestingly, my love.
Really good at being a really good friend to someone, really close to them, and being in that.
Yeah.
But you know,
that's true.
But you know what's so true? Do you know what's interesting? Even me hearing that when you say that, when I was in America, I was on my own so much to the point where I was like, I'm gonna have to ring my mum. I really need to. Actually, don't put that in. Fucking give me.
But
I was on my own so much.
For example, because you were there for you were in America for ages.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there for like 6 weeks.
5 weeks or something.
Yeah, you were there. That's quite a long time
to
be there. It's such an intense, especially in New York. Like it's so intense. When you were there, do you miss people? Like, do you say like, I miss you?
No. I know. The older I get, I'm like, I'm very odd. Or not.
No, but see, you're not. You're like, that's like Anna. Anna would never.
No, I never.
My friend Anna would never, ever say she missed me.
Sometimes, but a couple of drinks on me and they started it. I might say.
No, if I said I miss you, you'd be like, oh yeah,
I miss you too. Yeah,
I miss you too. Yeah.
Thanks for opening up that conversation.
Yeah.
But when I'm on my own and doing my work stuff, I just am very much just.
Yeah,
in that weird insular
interesting.
zone, and I don't really speak to anyone. Like, I don't speak to anyone. Like, so I've had friends, like very close friends of mine, who've kind of pulled me up and up, being like, you know, friendships go two ways. Like, you have to check in, and so that's why I'm constantly asking my friend, "How's your relative? How's your relative?"
Yeah.
It's like you say, it's learned behavior. Yeah. Like, I'm like, how are they?
Googled how to be a good friend. And it's like, ask about.
And she's like, thanks, I appreciate that because I know it's not your natural state.
Yeah, but which is good.
But what are you not kind of similar to that?
No, I'm not. I'm the neediest fucking person in the whole world.
Oh,
if I was in New York for 5 weeks, I would be calling them every day.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
And texting them constantly. I will constantly send updates of like everything I'm doing, everywhere I'm going. When I went to New York last year to do my show, I would call them like every morning, every night, like the whole way through the whole thing. So I'm not like that. I'm really needy.
I find
I'm quite like insecure and feel really unsafe all the time.
I don't know what's worse.
No, I don't know what's worse. I think what you
worse.
have is better because it's more sustainable. Like you can be in America and you can like just have fun.
Yeah. But like I do at time. I think the more time I spend on my own, and I spend a lot of time on my own, and I talk to myself a lot, and I don't even hide it anymore. I'll just like chit chat away to myself, and I'll put the AirPods in.
Were you doing that in the subway? I mean, that's so like the subway in New York. They were just like, oh, it's just another New Yorker.
I got the subway and. Obviously, a couple of times, because I was there for a while, but there was it's like a sitcom down there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fucking wild. I always think New York is like London on psychedelics.
Did you see that video of the guy walking a baguette on the lead on the subway?
No, but it doesn't surprise me at all.
He had a baguette and he was walking it like it was a
Doesn't surprise
dog
me at all.
on the subway.
I was
The rat man who trains rats to steal food from people and their jewellery.
No,
Real. Like they put it's incredible.
you're joking.
like you say.
Did
in
you
the
get with any
moment-
American men?
No, I did.
No.
I tried.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that because like they would have all fancied you. I don't think you were really trying.
Christian.
You're Christian.
No, a lot of them were Christian.
Oh, I was like, what?
A lot of big, and then you're
No, guys, sorry, New
I'd
York.
like next to
Yeah,
talk about my
I know it's
Christianity,
big.
Bryce, if you don't
Guys,
mind.
in New York, it's that's not no.
I was on him.
I once like saw a man in the subway and then had sex with him like within the hour.
Yeah. No. I think
He was the rat man.
the rat just put on the
Yeah,
condom
basically
for
his
you.
rat came over to me and like asked for my phone and I was like, no, but I'll have sex with your owner. I want to talk about when you were in New York for that longer period of time.
I didn't speak to anyone.
Didn't speak to anyone here.
Yeah.
You spoke to lots of people
Yeah,
there.
everyone at home was dead to me, but
What did you feel? Because I messaged you and I was like, could you ever live there? And you were like, I don't
No.
think so. No. You find it too intense?
It's not that I think New York is amazing, but like I said to you, I was like, I've only just got the hang of London.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not from here. I don't know if you know. I'm actually from Ireland. I should flag that now. So I'm only here about 6 years. Is it 6 years I'm here?
But it's not that like London and Dublin.
No, it's not.
Really?
It is. It's very different.
I get that, but it's not like New York.
No, but what it is it's a social thing. It's a
Yeah.
social thing and a work thing. So work-wise, I think you have to focus on one territory as such and really smash that place. And
First.
then first. And I haven't smashed here yet. So
I feel like you have.
I haven't. There's always more
You
to
went on
do.
Taskmaster.
Yeah, that's true. But then you need to
You
then,
sold out the Palladium for like multiple nights.
You need then to kind of maximize on those bits of work
so
that
what
you've
does
done.
like smashing here mean?
Such a good question. I was only speaking to someone about this the other day, where I was like, they were talking to me about, they were like, that they were kind of frustrated and struggles and they feel like they hadn't. And to me, in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I think you're hugely successful. And they were like, not to me, because I haven't, because I was like, but you've done this, this, and this. They're like, but I haven't done this, and this.
That's
It's
what
so
I mean. So,
subjective.
like you saying that, I'm like, what do you mean? You've done everything I like want to do.
I don't know.
And, like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you have
Yeah.
to give 5-6 years to one place. And then also I'm aware, like, as much as I love the hustle, I have to remember to, like, you have to kind of, reap what you've sowed where you've sowed it. So
that's true.
I've had, a good year where I've sowed oats. So I want to stay here now and kind of reap those
Reap the
oats, if you get me.
benefits, yeah.
Like, so do a tour and blah, blah, blah. Whereas if I go up, but I think New York would be something I would do, or America maybe in a couple of years' time. But it's so big. It's only when you're there, you're
I know.
like, it's
And also you have to start
overwhelming.
again.
You have to start
Are you
again.
someone who, okay, so for example, like it's December. Are you someone who at the end of the year, like takes stock and is like, this is what I've done this year and this is what I want to do next year?
No, and I really wish I was. I'd love to be a journaler, kind of start.
It's not even about that, but it's like every year at the end of the year, I write down everything I've achieved this year.
It's good, so good.
And then I write what I want to achieve next year.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of raw dogging it.
She's just there being like, Mum, we're going to Bali. Haven't got time to write down my goals for next year because we're going to Bali.
I got a time to manifest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
do
it's like
ayahuasca.
sometimes because I actually
don't. It's about-
I really like the calendar year. Like I like thinking about what I'm gonna do by this point, and then by that point, and then if I don't, and obviously loads of achievements I had for this year I haven't done. Like I thought I was gonna become like, you know, an Oscar winner. I thought I was gonna buy a 5-bedroom house. I remember. Do you remember like 4 years ago? I remember on New Year's Eve, like it was like our early 20s, so like 8 years ago, and I remember saying everyone was like, "What would you want to do this year?" And I said, "I want to make 100 grand." We were like 21. And I was so sure I was going to make 100 grand. I was still on a student loan.
Yeah.
I did not make 100 grand, obviously. But anyway, I like doing it because I like thinking about, because for example, you've achieved so much this year, and it's good to like be like reward yourself in that way.
It's and you're dead right. I've just never done that. So I know myself. So you're kind of riding on anxiety a lot of the time, like not in a bad way, but
adrenaline.
After Prosecco, I did take the foot off the gas. I don't think I left my flat for a month. I was like, good luck, good night. I lived off Deliveroo.
Have a break. Yeah.
And I really went full bed rot, like blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, okay, I need to come back out of this now and get back in the game and start kicking again. And like, there's something, I think it was Nicola Coughlan in an interview for Time magazine, the Irish actress. So I was going to say from Derry Girls, but she's Irish actor.
And Bridgerton.
I don't know.
She's amazing. I love
all
her.
the rest of stuff. But she was saying it just never ends, and I was like, that's true. There's
it never ends, but also that's because you're constantly thinking nothing is good enough. That's why it is good to like take stock and be like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Like you did your American tour, you did My Therapist Goes to Me in America, you then did like all of these cool gigs in New York. That's really cool. And it's cool to self-congratulate sometimes.
Yeah.
Because then it might like, because I agree, it's like the way that the world is built is like, what next? Even this week since the Apollo, the amount of people who have texted me saying, so what's next? And I'm like, are you joking? Like, I'm still hungover from that night. I'm not thinking about what's next.
Yeah.
But we're constantly having to think about that. But sometimes I just think it's really good to just stop and be like, I've done a good thing. This is really cool.
I agree.
I feel like you don't do that enough.
My natural state would be what's next? Like what's next?
Yeah.
Because my fear would be if you sit around congratulating yourself, you'll slow your progress down.
But you can do two things at once. You can congratulate yourself while also thinking what's next. But like, I honestly think strongly, and I'm so drunk now, I'll probably start crying soon. But honestly, I cried earlier. I honestly think that like we are not, as women, conditioned, like it's like that Jen Brister bit of stand-up is all about like mums being like to boys like, you are amazing, like you fucking went and cleaned your room, you're amazing. We're not congratulated as much as women, like from being children, like no one says like you are amazing as much as they do with men, and we don't stop enough to be like, what you've just done is really cool. Like it's really cool and you should be really proud of yourself. And I just think that like you should be able to do that while also being like, okay, what am I going to do now?
I've never been great at self-reflection. I've never been one for self-reflection. I've never really, even my diaries, you know, some people are like, oh, I've had my diaries published. My diaries are like, woke up, Mac race for pints, got 14% off in Topshop.
Had a spot on my neck.
I don't, don't give a shit. Like I've no interest. Like I'm like, why would I waste time writing for myself privately when I could be writing a fucking show or a book? You know, I don't really self-reflect at all. Worry that if you slow down and overthink things.
But no one's saying slow down. All I'm saying is like, I don't think in the way that like I think I'm sick. Like I think I am unbelievable. And
you
like,
are sick though.
No, but I'm sick because like I get to like hang out with women like you. That's why I am the way that I am, is because I've been so privileged in my life to like have access to women like you and be like, that's how I'm gonna do it. And so like that, but then you're there like being like, no, I just think about the next thing. It's like, no, you're unreal. Like me and Jack came to see Prosecco Express.
Yeah, me and my mum had tickets.
Yeah, and then Alison couldn't get back, so I went. And I didn't really know who you were before that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew who you were, but I hadn't listened to the podcast. And then we came, and I was like fucking blown away. Blown away. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. It's such a busy revolving door in comedy, and there's people coming in all the time. And for whatever reason, they're coming in and then they go out and they just fade away, and they don't stay. But when I saw you, I was like, she's staying.
Christmas song. Favorite Christmas song?
Christopher Spaceman Came Traveling.
What is that?
What?
What? Sing it.
Krista Berg, a spaceman came traveling. Hit it. I wish I'd saw it.
Where's DJ? DJ, where's DJ?
A spaceman. I can't sing. It's Krista Berg's space. It's kind of the spooky song about some guy travel from space.
Oh, you're
Krista
goth
Berg.
like Jack.
Krista Berg is Lady in Red.
Jack's favourite Christmas film was Die Hard.
Oh, you're one of those. Krista Berg, he sang Lady in Red. He's an Irish singer.
Okay.
Lady in
okay.
Red.
I love Irish people.
No,
I was
just
trying
different
to,
generation. Spaceman Came Traveling is my favourite Christmas song. Are you Googling it or are you just texting your missus?
Right. Favourite Christmas film?
I'm going to be a real basic bitch wank and say...
Love Actually. Yeah.
The thing about Love Actually that's so fun is that it's loads of different storylines. So you don't have to bore of one person's storyline. I love Love
Yeah,
Actually.
that's what I like about it for an ADHD brain.
And that
it's
one
like
where Cameron Diaz rides her man Jude Law.
The holiday. Yeah. Favourite Christmas drink?
Bailey's Irish Cream every day.
Yeah.
Not every day, Christmas. Like Michael Bublé, I only see it at Christmas. It's a Christmas experience. My mum gets a bottle of Bailey's Irish Cream off one of her nursing friends every year because she's a retired nurse. And every year I horse it. And my mum gets really annoyed and then she's like, you need to fucking replace that. And I was in New York one Christmas with an ex-boyfriend of mine and I had to replace the bottle of Bailey's that my mother was like, replace it or you will die. And I bought it in JFK Airport, but it was like a litre bottle of Bailey's and it was orange flavoured. And they let me take it on the plane, but they sealed the bag.
You drank it?
Of course I fucking drank it. Of course I fucking drank it. And I asked my boyfriend to keep sketch. And when we landed, he was like, this isn't going to work. He dumped me at the carousel.
You're joking? Because the Baileys.
He was like, it's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. I drank the entire litre.
Okay, and then my final one is if you could kiss anyone under the mistletoe this year, who would it be?
Russell Tovey. I don't believe in conversion.
He's one of my really good friends.
I don't.
Russell Tovey.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I met Russell and the first thing I said to Russell was, I used to wank to the sex scene of you
Riding another lad.
In an office. Yeah, I love gay porn.
Wow.
I love
What
gay
does
porn.
that say? Because I'd be raging because I'd be like, that's my dream. I'd be like, he's my ex. I don't want to watch it.
On one day of the tour, I was in my dressing room and I was like, I need to wank. So I went into the toilet because I was like, in case there's CCTV, I went into the toilet. I had my vibrator on me the whole time. So
Of course.
was on
Like a
tour.
keyring.
And then I just masturbated before my show because it calms me
It's a
down.
release.
Okay, we're going to end the podcast now. I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
You're the
I
best.
love you.
I love you.
And you are amazing.
You're
You're amazing.
amazing.
And you should be so proud of everything you're doing. You're inspiring so many people like me, Anoni, Jack, Emily. You are. You're amazing.
Grace, you can't call me
And-
inspiring. Wrap it up. I can't. You know, I can't.
Okay, fine. Well, your skin looks amazing.
Thanks, I'll accept that.
Merry Christmas, everybody, who got to the end of this fucking unbelievable 2.5 hour, like, K-hole of an episode of the podcast.
I assume in the end it'll be 14 minutes long.